G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here, and it's a Saturday afternoon, and although it's not yet 1400 hours, I do not propose to pretend to be sober. Now the purpose of this movie is a shout out and a congratulations to a co-subscriber of mine called VB Ed. Capital V, capital B, new word, capital E, small d. VB Ed. Now VB Ed just punched through 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations VB Ed. I understand what it feels like because I did it myself just a while ago. The universe and YouTube bestowed upon me the great joy of punching through 1,000 subscribers just before I had my own personal birthday back in February. So I know what it feels like. And VB Ed has been sort of trundling along roughly 100 subscribers behind me. And then I noticed over the last month perhaps that he'd chewed up about 20 of the buffer that there was between me and him. And just recently, VB Ed put out a couple of videos. One was a pretty good one about Anzac Day, and the other one featured Ingrid Gott with her tits in the thumbnail. So I'm guessing that he suddenly got a big push through of about 40 subscribers because, yeah, VB Ed's gone from, like 986 or something to 1,031, boom, in one big punch. So congratulations, VB Ed, on your 1,000 subscribers. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? If you think it feels good for you, you ought to try what it's like when you haven't got a computer and you get there on a mobile phone. But anyway, VB Ed's having a competition. And to qualify yourself in the competition, what you've got to do is you've got to do a beer review. Now, I'm actually a member of what they call the international branch of the YouTube drinking community. And the YouTube drinking community is actually pretty much an American association. And to be a member, you've got to drink malt liquor. Liquor, malt liquor. And malt liquor, it took me a while to stumble. This malt liquor is what Americans call any beer which has an alcohol content over 5%. And over there, they have available beers that are up around the 8, 9, even as high as 11%. They have beer as strong as wine. So it's considered to be a cheap person's drunk to go into a bottle shop and deliberately buy the malt liquor. It's the strong beer. It's not quite fortified wines or spirits or wine, but it's the strongest beer you can get is malt liquor. And yeah, I'm a sort of statutory honorary international member of the malt liquor community, and it has to have those qualifications because to be proper malt liquor, it has to say, in inverted commas, malt liquor on the label. And in Australia, it doesn't do that. What it says in Australia is, it says 5.8% of the alcohol, and it says it on the bottle with 1.7 standard drinks to the stubby. That's what it says about Cooper's Brewery sparkling ale with the red label. But those two are peremptorily empty. Peremptorily? They're empty. Therefore, thus and because, we have to go over and collect from the groceries, which are lodged in the back seat of my son's solar panel assisted vehicle, along with fuel for my backup generator, as well as my groceries. We have here my beer. And why is it so, you may say to yourself? Why is Warbles on a lot carting his groceries and his beer in his son's turbocharged intercooled diesel four-wheel drive four-door Rodeo rather than in the Subaru 1800cc touring wagon Well, it's because as of Monday at midnight last week, the touring wagon turned into a pumpkin. It's no longer a registered fire chariot. It's off the road permanently unless somebody else comes and buys it from me. And so, to carry my beer, I have been lent my son's fire chariot. Do you know how much fun it is to raise a kid up to the point where he can lend his father a car? If nothing else, it appears to be positive proof that hippies and hillbillies can raise their kids to be successful offspring out there in the big bad outside world. So here's one of the funny things about Coopers. It doesn't have a best before date, it has a best after date. And this is going to be best after the 9th of March 2015 at 07:54 hours in the morning. Why is it so? Why is it so? A best after date. Don't drink it before this. Wait until it has time to mature. There's a bit of a screed here on the neck. Cooper's Sparkling Ale is brewed and fermented using a unique method of top fermentation and natural bottle conditioning. Coopers are famous for this process, which leaves a natural residue of yeast during maturation and gives a cloudy appearance with an enhanced flavour. No additives, no preservatives. This is kind of like organic homebrew for hippies who are too lazy to do it themselves. And that there is the sediment inside the bottle, which is why I like to drink Coopers. Here's the other thing. A carton of 24 of these things costs you $56 here in New South Wales. They come from South Australia. I don't know how it's done. But at $56 for 24 of these things, $56 divided by 24 stubbies equals $2.33 for your 1.7 standard drunks to the stubby. Which label out, I do declare, as a dedicated piss pot, it's the most cost-effective, cost-efficient beer available in the bottle shop in Glen Innes in northern New South Wales, where I live. Very nice, very nice. And now we come to the point of the competition, which is the prize that VB Ed is offering. He's offering us all a t-shirt, which he proposes to get off the internet, and which will feature the logo VB, which is synonymous with Victoria Bitter, which is a brand of beer they drink, I don't know, 1,500 miles south of here where I'm living. Okay, I could do with adding to my YouTube competition winnings t-shirt collection, because I have previously been known to win a t-shirt on YouTube with a video which was entered into a bunch of other videos and the winners were pulled out of the hat. Would you like to see that t-shirt, VB Ed, as part of this beer review malt liquor video? Here's my form. On the back, the t-shirt says, "Suffering sucks." And on the front, we have the face of Gary Mosher, aka at in Mendham, aka do not God, do not pray, suffering sucks, all manner of channels dedicated to furthering his philosophy of Ephilism. Ephil is life said backwards. This is the character that thinks that there's nothing to life but suffering, and therefore all life should end. So, Forever Wolf Films was running a anti-natalist competition to win a t-shirt, and nobody entered anything, and she was a bit sad. So I made a movie titled The Observer's Guide to Anti-Natalists and Anti-Natalism, and I posted it and I entered it in the competition. And therefore, despite the fact that I am not an antinatalist, I'm definitely not an ethicist. Gary Mosher thinks I'm a fucking idiot, and I really sort of, I don't agree with his views, but I think he's pretty twisted himself. Despite all of that, I finished up, by the luck of the draw, with my video going into the hat and the winners coming out of the hat. I wind up in a position to wear a winner's t-shirt. That's what happened last time I entered a video competition where a t-shirt was the prize. So this time, despite the fact that I don't drink VB, it's a mass-produced chemical beer. It's not organic. It hasn't got any sediment. It's not strong enough to be malt liquor. I don't drink VB. But VB Ed, in honour of your 1,000th subscriber, I'm prepared to go into your competition. Okay. With a video made wearing the last t-shirt I won on a YouTube video competition. Think yourself lucky I don't go out there and get the gold medal I won for low technology in a YouTube video making competition. Run by old mate at Laura Leela, or plus Laura Leela as they call it these days, at the Equals Project in conjunction with Falmouth University. And I certainly wouldn't dare to make you look at the program from Falmouth University and the finalists' medallion, because that wouldn't be particularly polite at all, would it, Ed? You know, like if I was to point out the fact that I have a bit of experience at winning YouTube video competitions. So if the laws of statistics and probability mean that I don't actually win your t-shirt, never thee mind, I won't be taking it too badly. But it's a great pleasure to participate and enter and compete. And if I have to have 2 t-shirts to go with my collection of video winnings, I could survive that, VB Ed. Surely, I reckon I could survive that. Ciao.